I wasn't a roguelike guy until I played Hades 1, and after playing Hades 1, I went back to try Spelunky and Dead Cells and confirmed I wasn't a roguelike guy. And the core distinction between these two titles was the contextualization of my failed runs. In Spelunky, when I died, I had just wasted my time, I gained nothing, and my progress was reset. But in Hades, my failure was acknowledged in the most rewarding way possible for my personal sensibilities, the evolution of the narrative. Sure, there are also resources and mechanical upgrades that carry over from run to run, but those are nowhere near as motivating to me as the narrative rewards are largely unique to Hades. And it's this expansion on this element in Hades 2 that has skyrocketed it to my personal game of the year, though at the time of writing Metroid Prime 4 isn't out yet, so there's still a good chance it takes the silver. Sorry about this, I'm speeding myself up to not waste time, but I've been uploading for over 4 years and have nearly 500 videos on this channel, and I don't want to do this because I thought it was speaking, but people tell me that this works, but less than 2% of my viewers are subbed, so if this is your first video of mine, please consider liking and subscribing. But this narrative focus on time loops is facilitated through the game's main villain, Kronos, specifically in how he's already achieved his victory at the game's outset. That asymmetry creates a psychological horror where the simple act of replaying becomes complicit in his victory. Because it doesn't matter how you optimize your build or what arcana cards you unlock, Kronos is content to reset eternally because the temporal loops benefit him whilst you become exhausted by them. You even lose the ability to pause during Kronos' boss fight on higher difficulties under the narrative justification that only he can control the flow of time in his presence, making the accessibility features themselves into mechanical expressions of his power. As through confronting inevitability personified, it means that the stakes are personal survival rather than escaping an endless cycle. And so the game's controversial ending begins to make sense when you rehabilitate Kronos instead of killing him. You can't escape a loop by operating within it. You spend the entire game preparing to defeat Kronos through combat, a solution that would just repeat eternally. You can criticize The Last of Us Part 2 all you want, but that doesn't make its message wrong, and it's shown here literally in Hades 2. The cycle of hatred loops for all eternity, and it's only when someone from outside that loop intervenes and shows them a better way forward that both participants begin to heal. And I understand the criticism that Mel wasted her life and Zagreus just immediately solved all her problems, but that's missing the point. Her entire existence was constructed within Kronos' loop, so her agency within that system is compromised. The only way she can be liberated is when someone from outside that system helps her. If you're trapped in a generational cycle, you can't just win harder. You need someone external to help you escape that trauma. For more Hades 2 essays, here's one about how the bosses are inversions of each other.